Hello and welcome to my second annual Christmas video message. I hope you're all doing okay. I want to share with you some things that have happened to me over the year of 2022. I know we're all still dealing with some form of COVID. I've had some serious situations in my own church dealing with people who have lost lives because of COVID. Just recently, a funeral for a man named George, who was in my Sunday school class, very close to him, and he contacted COVID for the second time and died recently. That's just an example of why we should continue to be careful about how we deal with the situation of COVID and its continuing effect on all of our lives. Hope you'll continue with the booster shots as they're available, and just take care of yourself and be healthy. One of the things that happened to me this year, which was really a great event for me, was the publication of my book called A Theologian and a Baseball Fan, What Could Go Wrong? It published in March. It's out both in paperback and on Kindle, and shortly after Christmas it'll be available as audiobook as well. Sales are going pretty well, and I've had some great positive comments about it, nothing really negative, so I'm really excited about it. If you're not familiar with the book, it's about baseball and faith development. I'm hoping that people who may be just baseball fans who have no knowledge of faith may gain some interest in faith as they read that, and maybe the other way around too. People of faith who don't really know anything about baseball, and I've encountered them as well, even in my own church. And I'm hoping that by their exploration of the biblical stories that are in there, the personal faith stories, that they may come to a better understanding and appreciation for baseball as well. So that publication is going well. I continue to try to improve the home front as well. The most recent project, as you can see on video here, are some replacement of my front windows. I'm also going to replace the door. I didn't have that done by the time the video is made. It'll be installed in December, but the whole front of the house is going to look different. I still have to do the windows on the sides. Whenever I get some money to do that, I'm going to do that as well. So all the windows in the house will be replaced when it's all done. I have some favorites in terms of the things that I've done to the house. The lawn, which is zoysius grass, has done really well, even in the hot temperatures of Texas during the summer. I've also enjoyed the landscaping around the front and the rear of the house. You can see here what the looks of the front looks like. Around the water fountain, it's a rock which has a hole in the middle of it, a centrifugal pump that pumps water in a stream, and it shows like a fountain, and it goes back down to the reservoir beneath it and continues to pump as a centrifugal pump. Yeah, I like it. I've had a lot of positive comments about it, and as well as all the plants that are in the front as well. So that, and in the back, where I've also got a fountain, but I've also got some trees back there and some plants. Japanese maple, I have one in the front as well. Beautiful trees. So I'm really appreciative of the landscaping that's been done. And one of the things I really enjoy is the lighting at night, the lawn lamps that I have both in front and in back that illuminate the landscape in a way which is really beautiful. Both the fountains are illuminated and the trees and the plants. So that's part of what I really appreciate about what I've done at the house. I have some exciting family news to share with you as well. In June, I became a great uncle. My niece, Christina, and her husband Ben had a little baby boy named Graham Bennett Llewellyn. He was born in Massachusetts. They moved to Oklahoma City in August, and in September we're here in Dallas, and I had an opportunity to hold Graham for the very first time. He's a beautiful little baby, as you can tell from the pictures, and I know that Ben and Cece are really excited about it, as are all the rest of us as well, a new addition to our family. Just recently I took a trip to Broken Bow. No, not Broken Bow, Nebraska, although I wish I could go back there for a while, but this is Broken Bow, Oklahoma, and if you don't know anything about it, it's become a tourist attraction. There are cabins galore up there. That's my first time up there, and then we had a cabin with several other people and really enjoyed our time. It was just a weekend. But people who have been there before told me that this area, the Broken Bow area, has really grown over the last few years. I could tell that by when I came home on Sunday. I left at 11 o'clock from the cabin, and our cabin was 11 miles away from the city of Broken Bow. It's more like a town, but it's growing rapidly. But that 11 miles took me an hour because of all the cars and the traffic there. Now, the license plates were mostly all Texans, and I noticed the cars were purchased in and around Dallas as well. So Dallasites have found out about Broken Bow and are traveling up there quite frequently. I enjoyed my time with the people I was there with. My oldest niece, Stephanie, and her husband, Josh, they were there, as well as Beth and Kip Smith and Lisa and Jim Hancock. We all had really a great time in our cabin. Took some trail walks, as you can see a picture here. We also enjoyed some great meals, and mostly because of Beth, who's a great cook. But everybody contributed, so I hope to go back up there sometime. It's a beautiful place. As I close this video for this year, I want to remind you what Christmas is all about, at least to me, because Christmas is the incarnation of God in our lives. Now, that's a long word, theological word, but what it means is that God has chosen during this time to become one of us, to become fully human and fully divine. I hope you remember that during our celebration of Christmas. The birth of this baby means that God loves us so much that God became a part of us as well, sharing in our sufferings and our joys and our celebrations in life. This Christmas, I hope you remember that, because Christmas, the incarnation, God's choice to be with us, may be even more important than the resurrection that we celebrate at Easter. That's a theological discussion. But for me, the fact that God has chosen to be with us, to come in this little baby that we celebrate as Christmas, but we should celebrate it ultimately as God's love for each and every one of us. So remember that as you celebrate Christmas this year. Merry Christmas, and I wish you the very best, not only through Christmas, but in 2023.